Hey guys, this is a video showing off the deck I used to go 6-2 in MBT's Cwarantine Series 11. The deck I was using is a Superheavy Samurai FTK deck. I haven't played competitively in a while, so I wanted a deck with figured I'd play a deck with as little interaction as possible, so I couldn't get caught out by things. It makes sense, right? The deck revolves around this card, Soulbreaker Armor. It has an effect, where is it? You can banish all copies of this from your graveyard and target Superheavy Samurai monster whose defense is lower than its original defense and inflict damage equal to the difference. So we're going to, in one turn, use that effect to win the game. It would make more sense if I jump into a replay and show it off. So let's have a look. These are the replays I have from the tournament. I played quite a variety of decks. The one I wanted to show was round 6 against Noble. So this is a really good game for me, at least, because I'm going first and my opponent has no interaction in their hand. This is a really good hand. We've got Wagon's a great starter. Everything else is an extender, and Ultra Polymerization is it's a brick, but we do need to find it at some point during the turn. So having it already is great. So let's just start it off. And what we're going to do is summon a bunch of monsters. So we're comboing off, trying to get as many monsters as we can onto the field. What we're aiming for is Saryuja Skuldred, but on the route we want to search as many cards as possible so that we can return them to the deck with Saryuja's effect. In particular, here we go. We're going to search Benkei before resolving Saryuja, that's important. So here we summon Benkei onto the field and fire off Ultra Polymerization for Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And Ultra Polymerization's grave effect brings back the materials that we used, but gives them 0 attack and defense. So that means we can fire off Soulbreaker Armor and inflict 3,500 points of damage. And of course, Soulbreaker Armor is not a once per turn, so as long as we send them one by one, we can fire off the effect over and over and get in for lethal. Easy. Simple as that. Why don't we watch the game 2 of the same round. So in this, I sided in Nibiru for going second, even though I hadn't seen any cards from my opponent. It's a bit of a liability. But my opponent got to see my hand with Aqua Dolphin. Can't send Nibiru, it's too big. They did get a good card out of my hand. So of course they're going to play around Nibiru from this point, making that Herald. So I can't. It'll be negated if I use it. So they are free to just combo off now. They got it sold. Going to Link Cross. Once I notice that there's a Borrowload Savage coming, I fire off Nibiru. Hoping that will mean there's one less negate on the field when it comes back to my turn. If Herald was still there, that would be a problem. It goes into an Auroradon. He wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't cleared the Arclight. But it's okay, he doesn't have anything in his extra deck that he can make at this point that's very disruptive. So here we go. We've only got 4 cards in hand. And they have a negate. So that's going to be pretty bad. We've got a really good card at the top again. I said already that Wagon's a great starter. This would have gotten us to Soul Piercer as well if we hadn't drawn that. So we search for Soul Piercer, and we make the Scarecrow, and it's Scarecrow that they decide to negate. It's not so bad. We've got a Peacemaker we can fire off. You can probably tell from that the more than a negate is worse if they can destroy my card, so I had a game against Zoo and that was really tricky because Dryden and Zeus can wipe the board. So yeah, I'm much more scared of a Gamma than an Ash Blossom, for example. So we fire off Sayuja, and we don't have the cards we need immediately, so we just keep comboing off and make a second one. It's as simple as that. Dagaris is great, summoning back the Soul Piercer so we can get an extra search. We finally found the cards we needed. We can activate Ultra Polymerization, bring back the materials, and then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Curious is great. We've got to be careful not to mill 2 copies of Soulbreaker armor, since using its effect banishes every copy from the graveyard. That was what they gave it instead of a once per turn, I suppose, to try and stop you doing this. But you just have to send them one by one. Jump back to the deck. Is there anything else to talk about? It's basically entirely extenders. There's a couple of bricky cards, like the Machinas, if you draw multiple copies of Ultra Poly. If you can get to the first Sayuja, though, you can put back any of those bricks. Gearbox is another one. You can put back the bricks and draw extra cards, so it's not so bad. There's only about 9, I think, and then like 21 extenders, so can't really go wrong. The side deck, I'm just trying to put in things for going second. It was kind of last minute. I completely forgot that Lightning Storm exists, and evenly matched, which would have been pretty good. When things are going well, you don't see what the opponent has, so you can just assume you're going second after they see you FTK, though. Seems like a pretty safe bet. I think I might have put Nibiru in the main deck if I were to change things. Maybe take some of these out. One of the games I lost was against Dragon Link. I lost the coin toss, and it's essentially a mirror match at that point, right? They're going to set up too many negates for me to play through. So I have no chance. So maybe something like Nibiru would have helped. Having that game won as an option would have been useful. But yeah, this is basically board wipes for Trident, Zeus, or just baiting negates. They do the job. That's the deck. If you got any questions or any suggestions for how this could be better, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I've been one-tricking Superheavy Samurai, not necessarily FTKs, but I'm going to continue for the foreseeable future. So if you want to see more Superheavy Samurai stuff, check out my other videos and subscribe. Alright, that's all from me. Bye!